of movies, now streaming on Paramount+.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
Good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. The World Cup is well underway. Yesterday, we saw one of the most anticipated group stage matches between Brazil and Morocco, and there's still a lot more football to come today. So with that, welcome into Morning Footy, 48 Nations. I'm your host, Hannah Cash, alongside three former US men's national team players who have played in World Cups, Benny Feilhaber, Tony Meola and Jimmy Conrad. Boys, lovely to sit alongside you today. We've got three US stars. We needed you yesterday after the US game. Against Paraguay. Tony, you were there, weren't you?
I was there.
How was it?
I wasn't here. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. Just the moment. First off, the fact that we have a World Cup here in the U.S., of course, Mexico and Canada, as a fan, right? The first time around was clearly different 32 years ago, and now to have it back here is just incredible, right? We're all soccer junkies, right? We've been waiting for this and talking about it forever. But just to be there and see the moment and then see the performance that the U.S. put in, arguably one of the best that we've ever seen, certainly at any level. And now it's a great start. There's no question. But I think they've set a little bit of a marker now. So, but that stadium was rocking.
Oh, I bet.
Incredible.
Benny, Jimmy, I did watch you two on Call It. Got to say, Jimmy, your outfit
Thank you very
topped
much.
everyone else's.
Thank you.
Did you even tell it was Jimmy?
Benny, you look
behind the shades?
Benny looked great, but Jimmy, you look fantastic.
Thank you. I feel like I need to wear it now to replicate the vibes.
Yeah, every US game you've got to wear that outfit. Everyone, we are on YouTube today, so you can comment down below. We will be getting to all the comments a bit later on in the show. Let's start off today, though, by talking about Brazil, Morocco, the 1-1 draw. Benny, I'll come to you. It was the most anticipated game, I think, of this whole group stage. Do you think it lived up to expectation?
Mostly no. I think the first 30 minutes, Morocco looked almost like what the U.S. looked against Paraguay. They were going after them. They were repressing them, turning the ball over from Brazil's center backs and defensive midfielders. They looked fantastic in those first 30 minutes. They were able to get the goal. Once Brazil, off of Vini's individual brilliance, got them 1-1, the game kind of settled down. The second half was at a snail's pace compared to the first half, and then the second half was not nearly as exciting. So you saw a little bit of Morocco, you saw very little of Brazil. So I'd say it was a kind of a tepid performance overall.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of what Benny's saying. It felt like Morocco was playing how Brazil should be playing. They were so much more dynamic, especially in the first 30 minutes. Their movement, their fluidity, their ability to create numerical advantages. Brazil had no answers. And so I think that was a bit of a disappointment and a shock, not only to us watching, but I'm sure to their fans and to the players, and Carlo Ancelotti, the manager of Brazil. He made some changes at halftime. He had to make some changes. He didn't get it right to start the game. And I think they're going to make some adjustments moving forward. Thankfully, I'll put air quotes around thankfully, they got Haiti and Scotland next. Not easy opponents per se, but ultimately on paper, they should go out and do the job. So some learnings here, but they should be happy. If I'm Brazilian, I'm not happy with the performance, but I'm happy I got a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, looking at a big picture, I think you mentioned it, best game in the group, or the one that we anticipated the most, right? So you don't come out of there with nothing, either team, right? So they might be happy from that standpoint, but certainly from a playing standpoint, Morocco was the better or the more attractive side. I looked at Carlo Ancelotti's side, and I've followed him as he's one of my favorite managers all time, right? This looked very much like his Real Madrid sides, about moments. And we got a moment, right, from Vinny Jr. We got a spectacular moment from Vinny Jr. But that's what we've seen. There's just not enough football. And I know, Jogo Bonito, this went out years ago, right, when all these players started going to Europe. It kind of changed the face of what Brazilian football looks like. But I got to be honest, I thought there was going to be a little bit more on this side. I expected what I saw from Morocco. I didn't get what I expected out of Brazil in watching this team.
Yeah. Well, this was Carlo Ancelotti's first game with Brazil as head coach in a World Cup. And here is what he had to say about his squad after the game.
Eu acho que il partito, soprattutto la prima parte, foi difícil porque eu acho que a equipe estava um pouco ansiosa na primeira parte, demais perda de bola, pouco equilíbrio no campo. Segunda parte muito melhor. Ha sido un partido difícil, el equipo va a mejorar en los próximos juegos. No tenemos que perder la confianza porque en los primeros juegos de la Copa del Mundo todo puede pasar. No podemos pensar que el equipo está perfecto en los primeros juegos. No, tomamos ese resultado que no es malo y vamos a luchar a pelear los próximos juegos. La Copa del Mundo no se gana los primeros juegos.
Benny, what do you make of what Ancelotti just said there? He said it's gone down to nerves and anxiety, but you can argue you've got the likes of Casemiro, who's won 5 Champions Leagues. You've got Marquinhos, who's just won back-to-back Champions Leagues. So many of these players have World Cup experience. Do you think that's just a bit of an excuse?
No, I think he's covering for the players. I don't think anybody on that Brazilian team is too anxious or too nervous. They've played in big-time games. They've played in World Cups, Champions League, big European matches. So I think they'll be fine from that perspective. I don't think that's a valid excuse. But he's a player's manager. He's going to say some of those things. My bigger curiosity is what changes does he make, right? Because if you look at that game from a Morocco perspective, you at least saw something that you want to work off of and you want to build off of. Brazil, you didn't see anything. You didn't see how they want to defend properly, that you didn't see how they want to build through the midfield and control possession and kind of control the tempo of the game. And you definitely didn't see how you're going to utilize your tools up top. I mean, Rafinha was a ghost in the game. And so as one of the top players of the world, you want to make sure that not only Vinny is getting the ball and getting opportunities, but Rafinha has to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think what I would add to that is when I think about the great Brazilian teams, and I feel like you're always in the shadow of those great Brazilian teams and having to live up to the ghosts of the past, which I think could be its own challenge. But I think about dynamic fullbacks. So you got Cafu on one side, Roberto Carlos on the other. They don't have anything near that. And I think that is a bit of a struggle for them. And then when you add that midfield, you got Casemiro, you got Bruno, and you got Lucas Paquetá. I didn't think they had a good game. And Casemiro came off at halftime. They brought Fabinho in. And it started to stabilize it a little bit, but to what Benny's ultimately saying, there's no creativity in that area of the field, which is what they've been known for forever. And so if you lose those two parts, then they become a little bit more predictable, and then they have to rely on moments, like Tony's saying. You need a Vinicius to do something special by himself. You need Rafinha to step up and make a play. And then I think he got it wrong. I think he started the wrong guy up top. He got one with Thiago. He had Cunha he could have gone with. You got Endrick, who's also an option. And they just didn't have that dynamic force up top as well. So there's a couple areas in all lines of the field where I think he has to make adjustments.
But this has been his teams for a while, right? Thiago is the one. We're living in a world where the starting center forward for Brazil plays at Brentford. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Brentford.
Brentford taking a stray right now.
They're really not, because I think people around the world will agree that this isn't how Brazilian football was built. It was built around the top players in the world playing at the top team. Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, I'm thinking like a Dani Alves type guy. Like these kind of guys, this is a different era of Brazilian football, and I think they all will say the same thing. And Carlo Ancelotti, this is the team I thought we would see, as I said, but I thought it would be sharper. They just don't. They looked on the. There was a period after. Would you agree? After 10 minutes, right before the goal, I think they gave it up just before the hydration break. That they actually looked like they were growing into the game a little bit. Like they were, and then the goal kills you, right? A ball over the top. That's a simple one that they should deal with. They don't. Again, it's about, for me, Carlo Ancelotti's teams have always been about those moments, right? There hasn't been a ton of teams. Maybe one of his first Champions League wins at Real Madrid, maybe that team was a little bit more free-flowing. But his last Champions League team was exactly what we saw here with different players.
Yeah. What changes do you want to see next Friday against Haiti, Benny?
So, I think Jimmy brought up a really good point about the outside backs. They don't have outside backs that can get up the field and really create in the attacking third. So I'm interested to see what he does. Almost for me, I think a formation switch would be a little bit better. I don't know if they have two center midfielders that can kind of, not only defensively hold their ground, but also be able to push the ball up the field and kind of be there on their own, because I would try and play with 4 defenders that kind of stay at home. I'd open up Rafinha and Vinny as the 2 wingers to try and get the ball and create, and I'd put 2 guys up top. I'd probably play Cunha and Endrick making the run over and behind to spread the team out. Cunha can drop in kind of like that false 9-10. I think that suits the team more in terms of the individual qualities. I don't know if a 4-3-3 that we've been seeing is the way to go with them.
Yeah, I think the concern is, and I actually liked Haiti. We were talking about Haiti before we went on air, just how good they looked against Scotland, how dynamic they looked going forward. There was a nice fluidity to how they were moving on that side of the ball. So I don't think Haiti's going to be an easy out for Brazil. I think they're going to have to earn it a little bit. But ultimately, I like where Benny's going with that, finding a different structure, putting different players into it. And in some ways, it's interesting to say this, but when you're a manager and you're still kind of tinkering with what your best lineup is, probably not a great place to start. However, Carlo Ancelotti needs all the respect that he can garner from us, because obviously he's been doing it at a high level for a long time.
I think he kind of set it up right in that. And by the way, what an incredible, we were joking, what an incredible use of Italian and Portuguese in the same
Spanish.
Everything. He had everything going on in that interview. But he said it, right? You don't play your best right at the beginning of the tournament. That's kind of the fear with the U.S., right? Did you play your best game the first game? We'll soon find out. But he set himself up here that this team is going to grow into the tournament. And I think those are probably Brazilian fans' expectations right now.
And their hopes. Their hopes right now. Because if they don't grow, I don't know if they're going to be in the tournament very much longer.
Yeah, we have to give our flowers to Morocco, though. I mean, outplaying a nation like Brazil, it really just speaks to how far this nation has come since 2022. And look, you've got the likes of Bouhaddi, who's 18 years old, having such a great game.
Bouhaddi in particular was magnificent. And, Morocco's not only been doing it at the senior level. They won the U20 World Cup. Yeah. They had good Olympics. I mean, they're in the conversation at all levels. And when I think about Bouhaddi, who we're looking at on screen right now, you watch him play and you think there's no way this guy is 18 years old. You just his composure and the way that he carries himself and his decision-making in high-pressure situations against some very talented world-class midfielders and always having the right option and figuring that's not easy. And to have that type of composure is pretty ridiculous. So he was important in this game, but just how they bring other players into it. And the only time they actually gave up that one moment to Vinicius Jr. is when Hakimi got caught going forward. That's the one, or maybe 1 or 2 vulnerabilities that I see in this Morocco team, is when their outside backs get forward. There's space to get in behind them and make them vulnerable. But Bouhaddi was excellent, top player. I'm excited to see how he continues to progress throughout the tournament.
Yeah, Morocco are playing against Scotland next Friday. Do you think they'll be feeling like they can top this group now, Tony?
No doubt about it, right? They have to both feel that way, because I think the expectation is these 2 teams are going to battle at the top of this group. We'll get to Scotland, Haiti, and on a little bit. But I would think so far this Moroccan team in this group has been the one that has been the most attractive to watch for sure.
You agree with that, Benny?
Yeah, there's no doubt. They have a starting point, right? We talked about Brazil. I don't think they have a starting point. They got to figure it out right now. Morocco, I thought they played excellent for 30 minutes. They could have even scored more than 1 goal, right? And so, you tinker with a little bit of there, but how can you get 30 minutes into 90 minutes and they're a dark horse at that point if they can compete like that? And like you said, Jimmy, they finished in 4th place last World Cup. I think they finished in 3rd in the Olympics. They won the 20s. And so with that, the confidence grows. So I think they're the likeliest to finish number 1 in this group right now. And I think Scotland's going to have, a lot to deal with in this next game.
No question.
A lot of people saying in the chat that Morocco got lucky, defence held up Morocco. Would you agree with that, or?
Well, Brazil's going to ask questions no matter what.
Yeah.
I know they didn't look as fluid as they would probably have hoped, but I think Morocco has done enough. There's something about a team that knows how to bend but not break. And Morocco has demonstrated that in multiple competitions over a number of years now. And so they got through the group of death in 2022. They had a deep run. You're working from the same core of players that can now lean on themselves in tough moments and say, hey, okay, it's not going our way at this particular moment, or we're absorbing a little bit too deep. How do we solve those problems? I think they have more than enough leaders, and now you're adding Bouhaddi to the mix, who's a young player who helped them win the U20 World Cup, and you're just starting to level up in all different ways. Very similar to what Ancelotti said, Morocco will also be growing into this tournament, and we'll be able to identify, hey, we got to fix it and clean it up here, And because they have Scotland and Haiti, who aren't maybe as superior of an opponent to like a Brazil, will cause them some problems, but maybe not as consistently. That should just help them even figure out how they're going to be looking coming into the knockout rounds.
Yeah, Morocco against Scotland next Friday, Brazil against Haiti. If Brazil, were to get a draw against Haiti, which I don't think any of us are expecting, but if it were to happen, Tony, do you think they would be worried about not making out of the group?
That would be crazy, by the way.
I think you got Scotland after that, yeah. We were talking about a Scotland team scored their first goal, right, in how many World Cups now, since, 98? Yeah, I don't think the fear is not getting out of the group until you're not out of the group, anymore. But I suppose you got to think about it, right? Again, someone said lucky, right? I can't look at it that way. I don't know that Morocco was lucky. We're talking about a semi-finalist from 4 years ago. With presumably a better team right now, according to everybody in Morocco. Jimmy mentioned this is not a one-off. They've been doing this through their entire system, from the U17s, U20s, Olympics. So I don't know. I don't know that I could use the word lucky in this one, because Morocco's a really good side.
I think if anything, they were lucky not to get the 3 points. Brazil were the team that got lucky in this game, not Morocco to settle for the draw.
All right then, everybody. OK, we're going to be taking a quick break here on Morning Footy, 48 Nations. We've got much more coming up on the other side, discussing all of the games we saw yesterday.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So, Turkey kicked off its first World Cup campaign since 2002 against Australia, and it was the Socceroos that struck early in Vancouver. 20-year-old Nestere Irinkunda scored in the 27th minute, and Connor Metcalf added a second in the 75th from outside the box. Tony Popovic's side had just 28% possession and were outshot 30-9, but got a huge result to start. So here is how Group D is shaping up after that game. The USA topped the group because of their 4-1 win over Paraguay. Australia sits second after their 3 points last night over Turkey, and a surprising loss for Turkey last night. Many people think they were going to be winning the group. They've got some work to do now. This is a look at some of the Australian fans after the game, the Socceroos. Wow, look at the scenes there. A lot of yellow and green. I think this might have been taken in Australia because the game was very late last night in the US. So it seems like it would have been prime time for the day for the Australian fans over down under.
Yeah, I'm excited for them. They rarely get games where they can watch in the middle of the day, so you can see there was a nice turnout. They should be thrilled. This was a match that everybody had Turkey predicted to win and comfortably, but the Socceroos came out and put out a really good performance, really organized, really disciplined. So shout out to Tony Popovic, the manager. He had a good game plan, and they went out and executed it at a very high level.
I mean, they know who they are, right? They know who they are, and I think that's a really dangerous thing. So the ability to defend as a team, the ability to attack in specific moments, right? The countering, the sprinting that they create, the danger situations against Turkey. I think they know who they are, and that's really dangerous.
It's turned out to be a little bit of a wild group so far.
I know, a very wild group.
They won.
Here are the odds to advance from Group D for Australia. Jimmy, walk us through these, why don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good value before the tournament kicks off to get Australia at plus 350 to get through the group. That put down $100, you would win 350 if you had done that. Now, after getting these valuable 3 points, and because third place teams are 8 of the 12 third place teams come in, it's dropped to minus 120, almost even money. So yeah, shout out to the Socceroos. I mean, I thought they were really, really good last night.
Yeah, big result. And with that, everybody, we're going to be welcoming in athletic football correspondent Simon Hughes. He was at the game last night. Simon, thank you so much for joining us today. A very surprising result, a great result for Australia. A lot of people thought Turkey were going to come out with the win. Was this the most surprising result that we've seen in this World Cup so far?
Definitely. I think it was a performance that appealed to the senses of the Australian people. I spoke to a lot of Australians in Vancouver before the game, and they were actually very confident. Before the game, the opponents said a few things about their chances and were talking themselves up quite a bit. And, you know, the Australian fans were like, you know, we don't have a bad team here. We can actually do something. And if you underestimate us, you're going to have a problem. And it was very clear from early on in the game that Australia were going to be difficult to beat. They were very hard to break down. I know Turkey had a lot of shots, but quite a lot of them were from distance as well. Of course, you're always going to rely on sort of the individual performances of key players. And, you know, the goalkeeper, Patrick Beach, was sensational last night. You know, 3 or 4 really top quality saves. Saves maybe you'd expect him to make, but he had to turn up, and he did, and he was crucial in the victory.
Now, Simon, Jimmy Conrad here. Nice to meet you. So, Patrick Beach, let's continue that conversation. 22-year-old plays for Melbourne City in the A-League in Australia, gets the nod over the captain, who's got over 100 caps, and Matt Ryan. What was that decision from Tony Popovic? Why did he elect to do it? And obviously, it paid off.
It was a huge call. As you say, Matt Ryan has got a massive amount of experience. I've got to be honest, I was quite surprised when I saw the team sheet. I didn't see that coming. I've seen a fair bit of Matt Ryan in the Premier League. I didn't know a great deal about Patrick Beach, if I'm being brutally honest. So when I saw him starting the game, I thought, oh God, that's a big call. Not only that, Tony Popovic took out Jackson Irvine, who's got a lot of experience. So that was another big call. But both of them paid off. I think Australia just had a bit more physicality, more energy than the Turkish team. And they were just more convincing with the game plan generally. Turkey obviously got some really good individual players, but maybe the talent sort of concentrated in one area, whereas Australia maybe don't have one outstanding, you know, talent. I think there's, I think I'm right in saying that in the starting 11, only one of the players plays in the top 5 European leagues, but you could tell there was a really, really strong togetherness amongst the players, and they stuck at it. And I've got to say, on the counter-attack, which was part of Popovic's plan, try and soak up the pressure and get the ball as quickly as possible to Irankuda. I mean, I nearly missed the goal because Australia were defending and suddenly they show an opportunity to break forwards and release Irankuda, and it was a finish that was all about pace, but it was also an excellent finish because he sat the goalkeeper up and put him the wrong way. And I just think that just gave the Australians such a huge amount of confidence for the rest of the game because they knew, from quite an early part of the game that they could affect Turkey and cause some problems.
Simon, Tony Meola, great to chat with you. Let's stay on Irankuda here for a little bit. We cover him here in the championship, get to see him week in and week out. This is a guy that started his career at Bayern Munich before he moves and had more yellow cards for dissent than he had goals, right, in the championship. And he's a fiery player is what I'm trying to get at, right? He's a guy that is about moments. He's been better at the national team level than he has at the club level. Could this potentially be, a guy that we're talking when we finally put like our top 5 young players that came out of the World Cup? Could this be one of those guys?
All I can say is he looked very much at home playing at the World Cup, when everybody was watching him. A strange start to the game because there was a bit of confusion at one moment when I think he went to try and get the ball in a defensive situation and hesitated because he wasn't too sure where he was meant to be. And Tony Popovic, you could tell, was trying to get messages into him pretty early on in the game. His goal came just after the water break, and Popovic was focusing his attention on him. Moments later, he scores a goal. And he spoke about this after the game, saying that Popovic was just being very simple with him, very simple instructions in terms of where he wanted to be on the pitch. But there's no doubt, that he does have the ability. Pace was frightening last night. And, sometimes maybe we look at bookings as a bad part of the game. You mentioned his record in the championship, but you've got to be quite physical in that league. And, he was getting a bit of rough treatment from the Turkish players last night, particularly, the defenders who couldn't deal with his pace and sort of resorted to trying to stop him physically, and it didn't work. I mean, he came off, I think he was the first substitute for Australia, but he had really affected the game. I think he frightened Turkey and made them realise that they couldn't push that high up the pitch because if they did, they're going to have problems behind them.
Hey, Simon, the thing that stood out to me about the team was their togetherness, right? And you touched on it a little bit, how the fans see the team, how there's not really one star. It was impressive to me how long balls, loose balls, it was always a sprint. There was 2 or 3 guys around any one of those actions to try and get, a throw in, a counter attack, a free kick. Defensively, there was one moment that I remember where Turkey gets down the line and they're looking to make a cross, and a center back is just impeding their 9 to get inside the 6. So they all understand their roles within the tactical organization. That's what seems to make them so strong. Is that something that they're going to have to rely on continuously to find success game in and game out?
As they go further on into the tournament, they're obviously going to have to show more and more and more because the demands will get more. But what I just loved about Australia last night was that they were streetwise. They knew exactly where they needed to be and what they needed to do. You just referenced some of the sort of darker arts in the game. They weren't afraid of getting involved in that side of it. I think, over the years in football and I suppose the commentary around it, we've all been impressed by, the quality of possession. And I realise over the last couple of years, things have changed in that conversation. We're seeing some of the top teams playing with more of an intent to affect the game from set pieces. But, Australia, what really impressed me about them, they really understood what their limitations were, and they got the maximum out of what they could do. I think they deserve to win. The game isn't always defined just by who had the most shots or who had the most possession. Sometimes it can be quite misleading. Had control of what was going on. Okay, occasionally they needed the goalkeeper to step in and do his thing, but that's what goalkeepers are there for. People forget this. So it was a really encouraging performance, and the thing is, I really felt in Vancouver yesterday that they have the fans behind them. I think that is such a big thing in World Cup football. Not every nation, a lot of nations fans turn up and want the team to do well, but Australia really, really believed they could affect this game and actually, make an imprint on this tournament. So I think they're going to be quite difficult to stop. And the US, if they underestimate them, might have a few problems.
Simon, I think what you said was the goalkeepers are there to clean up everybody else's mess. Is exactly what you meant.
Coming from the goalkeeper. All right then, Simon, thank you very much. Some great insight there. Enjoy the rest of the games in Vancouver.
Thanks a lot.
OK, then, everyone. So, Turkey, we weren't able to talk to Simon about it, but disappointing loss for them. 30 shots with no goal. I think that's the most from any country since 2006. So, quite insightful there. Let's talk about Australia, though, because they're going to be facing the US men's national team next Friday. How will the Australian game be different to the Paraguay game we saw? Tony?
Well, I've told Jimmy and Charlie on Call It What You Want, I'm most worried about this game than the other two, right? Mm-hmm. Because we had a clear idea of what Paraguay was, right? You didn't want to go down a goal to Paraguay. They didn't do that because then they had to open up, and that's not where they're best. So we worked that game out. This, to me, I think I think they're the best pressing team, right? Where they want to press. I think athletically they're really, really good. And I think they'll be the most disruptive. And I know we got this whole thing with Grella and, Australia, there's what did he use? Layup. He called it lay, whatever it is. I never saw it that way. Because I don't think anything is going to be easy. This is not.
Grella's going to be hired as their motivational speaker at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, like he willed them to 3 points yesterday. So,
well, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the number 10 for Turkey, said before the game against Australia that Turkey was more talented than Australia.
They said they were going to take care of business, I think, something like that, right?
Yeah, and that worked against them. Everybody just keeps discounting Australia, and it seems to be not the right thing to do. So thanks, Grella. We appreciate it.
The US played against Australia in October, and they were able to win 2-1. How much do you think they can take from that performance, Benny? Anything at all?
Not really.
Why is that?
I just think it's a different competition. Of course, in the World Cup, every little thing matters. And we saw this team now with Australia. To me, their biggest strength is they know who they are. There's moments in the game that you saw. The Koundé just boot the ball forward because he's just like, I'm not going to take any chances of a repressing moment, and we'll defend from deeper. They know who they are. It might not be always the most attractive, but it's extremely effective, and I think that's going to be a difficulty that the U.S. finds to break down.
I will say, though, in that game that we played against Australia, Roldan found himself in a good pocket of space, a little bit of interchange in midfield. We broke through their pressure, and then Haji Wright made a really good run in behind their back four. In a tight space, we slotted it. He ended up scoring. I think that's the way you have to do it against Australia. It's going to be even harder to replicate that because they know what they should be looking for. Obviously, the lineups will be a little bit different. And then on the other side, Australia scored on us shutting off on a throw-in. We just weren't locked in on a throw-in. These are the details that we have to get ironed out because the margins are ultimately what decide who goes through and who doesn't.
OK, then, everybody. Right, let's take a quick break. We've got the US next week to look forward to. But for now, let's take a break. We've got much more Morning Footy 48 Nations coming up on the other side, discussing all things Scotland and Haiti. Scotland getting their first ever World Cup win since 1990. Do stay with us, everyone.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount+.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
Welcome back to Morning Footy, 48 Nations. Haiti was back in action at a World Cup for the first time in 52 years, facing a Scotland side ending a 28-year drought. John McGinn snuck one past Haiti goalkeeper Johnny Placid in the 29th minute, and Scotland staved off a number of Haiti attacks to hold on for their first World Cup win since 1998. OK, everyone, who would have thought at the top of Group C we'd be seeing Scotland? This is a group that includes Morocco and Brazil, and this is how the group is shaping up. Haiti unable to get that win yesterday, so they're at the bottom of the group. But yesterday, John McGinn playing in his first ever World Cup and getting his first goal in the competition, but he seemed like he wasn't getting too high off the wing. Take a listen, everyone.
Oh, it's crucial. This was our pressure game, favourites going into it. Haiti are a very difficult opponent. They played very well against New Zealand, played very well against Peru, who are a good team. They've got so many unique qualities that we are not used to playing against. So the important thing tonight was to get a clean sheet and get the 3 points, and we've managed to do that. Can we play a bit better? Of course we can, but that's brilliant. We're going into the games against Morocco and Brazil with more gears to go up. But Scotland winning at a World Cup again is the main takeaway from tonight.
What a couple of months John McGinn is having, huh?
Not bad. I love those jerseys, by the way.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I did. I like the old school look to them. But yeah, Scotland's, it was an interesting game. I think Haiti did cause some problems for them. Prior to him scoring, Scott McTominay had a good chance to hit off the post, and starting to ask questions. It felt like both teams, when they wanted to get into the attacking third and create something, even if it was a bit of a hopeful cross, they could get there pretty easily, all things considered. Scotland, I heard from Steve Clark, I read an article of Steve Clark just saying, the manager of Scotland, that it was tough actually being the team where everybody favored us to win. We just haven't been in that position for who knows how many decades.
A World Cup as well, yeah.
So to handle that, obviously when they play Brazil and Morocco, it's going to be a little bit different. They're going to have to approach it differently. But they got to be thrilled they got the 3 points.
Yeah. Tony, what do you make of Scotland's performance?
Not great, not fun to watch, just from a footballing perspective. It just wasn't. I was happy from Kearney, New Jersey, and I grew up at all. The entire town was Scottish, right? I think they had 600 people that went from Kearney, New Jersey to this game last night. And so I'm happy for them, right? I know what this all means to them. Being back in the World Cup is massive. It wasn't an attractive game. My eye was more attracted to the way Haiti tried to play the game than Scotland. But they managed the game, right? But I think you saw there was a clip right at the final whistle. They showed the referee blowing the whistle, obviously, and then you kind of saw McTominay next to him. He didn't look like thrilled, like that we had to fight through this game, because I think, as you know, Steve Clark said, they probably never expected to be the favorites in this thing, right? They're not in that position, and they probably wanted a little bit more out of themselves.
Yeah, we saw a Haitian team that was really good at breaking through the midfield with speed, and they were dynamic in the attack, and I think that threw Scotland off a little bit. Even after they got the goal, it was one of those where they started, being able to hold on to that lead as opposed to trying accumulate the lead to 2-0 because they didn't want to get scored on. So a little bit lucky that Haiti didn't have their scoring boots on, but at the end, 3 points.
Yeah. Okay, everyone, time to bring in our European football expert, Ewan Robertson. Ewan, great to see you. Great performance, well, a great win from Scotland, but do you think these fans would be confident from the performance that they saw on the pitch yesterday?
No. I completely agree with you people in the studio. Scotland were terrible. There's no point. I should be patriotic and passionate, but I've also got to be honest. I thought we were quite lucky to get away with the win, but ultimately, who cares? It's the first time in the World Cup since 1998, first win since 1990, and it now puts Scotland in a position where I'm not going to say they can relax because they're guaranteed to go through, but there's a very good chance of going through with 3 points as long as they avoid heavy defeats against Morocco and Brazil, which I think that Scotland will. The style of football wasn't great. It wouldn't have been a good game to watch for a neutral, but luckily I'm not neutral, so I was delighted.
So Ewan, how do they now approach their next games against Brazil and Morocco, knowing that maybe a draw would definitely be enough for them to get into the next round? So maybe the style they did play last night against Haiti could work against Brazil and Morocco, just because it was a little stodgy, not a lot of fluidity to it, not a lot of movements, but that could be enough to stymie one of those two big opponents.
Yeah, completely agree. And your colleague made a great point earlier about when Scotland went 1-0 up, they did kind of retreat. I think that's just the pressure of the game. Scotland went in as favourites. It's not often Scotland go into a tournament game as a favourite. So I think there was so much pressure on that game last night because Scotland needed to win to have any chance of qualifying for the groups. And Scotland have never done that before in a World Cup. So you can feel that expectation and the pressure on the players. So moving forward now, I think they might change formation. They played 4-4-2 last night. That doesn't really suit them, in my opinion. It's not something that Scotland have played often over the years. They generally play with a back five, or they play with 4-3-3. I don't think going with two strikers up top worked. The idea behind it was, this is a game we can win. Let's try and get on the front foot. Let's try and score goals. Against Brazil and Morocco, I expect Scotland to play much more defensively. And I do think that suits the players, the system. That's how they've had success over the years. But these games aren't free hits. We can go into them with a little bit less pressure now and try and enjoy the experience. But ultimately, last night was just about winning.
Ewan, how sort of symbolic that it's John McGinn that gets the goal, right? Because when a neutral thinks about this team, like, I know McTominay is the star, like he's the guy that is the big name, player of the year in Serie A, all of that, but John McGinn is like Scotland. Like from a neutral standpoint, he kind of defines everything Scottish football.
Yeah, he's a fantastic character. You're completely right. He does kind of characterise what it's like to be Scottish. He works incredibly hard on the pitch. He also has a laugh and enjoys himself. I'm not. What do you guys think? I thought it was maybe a little bit of an own goal, but I'm not going to take it away from John. He's had an incredible few months, obviously leading Aston Villa to triumph in the Europa League. Scoring a goal in Scotland's first win in almost over 40 years. A World Cup. What a story! And yeah, he is loved back home. Scott McTominay is the poster boy with his kind of devilishly handsome good looks. Now that he's moved to Italy and he's got a bit more style since he moved over to Napoli. John McGinn, we can all resonate with John McGinn. Everyone in Scotland, we feel we can understand he plays for us when he's on the pitch. And yeah, I don't think it was his best performance, but that moment will live with him forever.
So Ewan, I got a little bit of a two-part question. You talked about how the first game was all about just getting the 3 points. Emotionally, does that allow the players to be a little bit more relaxed, the fans to be a little bit more relaxed going into the Morocco and Brazil game? And then from a tactical standpoint, you talked a little bit about the formation switch. When Scotland had the lead and Haiti was going after it a little bit, I saw very little counterattacking. They were playing deeper defensively, but the counterattack was slow. There wasn't a lot of players, bombing forward for those opportunities. Will that change a little bit? And how can you guys change that in terms of, competing against Morocco and Brazil?
Yeah, just going to the first point, I hope so. I hope the players can relax a bit and play with a little bit more freedom, because you're completely right. That wasn't there last night. It was a very stodgy performance, and it wasn't great. But I mean, I think the fans will certainly be relaxed. I think they were relaxed last night. Very much enjoying the hospitality in Boston, and I thought the anthem was incredible from the supporters, and I think everyone in America is getting to see what brilliant supporters of Tartan Army are, and the numbers we travel in. You see the scenes there on the boat. They took over the city. Really friendly, not one negative story about the supporters. And you see so many Americans over there, say how great it is to have the Scots there. Back to the game, tactically, completely agree. Scotland lack pace in their squad. That's one major deficiency in the squad. The only real player with genuine pace and that can beat a man is Ben Doak. Obviously, previously at Liverpool, now at Bournemouth. I thought he had a couple of nice moments early on, but that would be the concern. If they are going to sit deep, as you said, it's imperative you have an out ball, you have pace on the counter attack, and I do think that's lacking in the squad. So that could be a major issue going into those games, because you don't want to be penned in defending deep against Morocco and Brazil. Respectfully to Haiti, they don't have the same quality that those two teams do. So if you're defending deep, you're vulnerable to losing a goal.
Well, Ewan, you know what they say: no Scots, no party.
100%, 100%. And it's a great story. A guy called Mike Morris, I don't know if you've seen this over in America, he put up a video that a group of Scots rented a house across the road from him. Yeah. And they were playing the bagpipes at 6:30 in the morning. Now, that can annoy some people, but this guy's just been brilliant. He's got a bond with these people now. He's invited them over to the house. They've had beers. And a Scotland fan actually managed to get him a ticket for the game last night. So we've got one more Scottish person in Boston now.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Great.
We've even got some Scots in our studio. They've come in their kilts, going to the games. They're all really excited. But Ewan, thank you very much for joining us. Hope to see you soon.
No problem. Have a pleasure. Have a good day.
You too. OK, everyone, we're going to be shifting gears now to Morning Footy trivia. We're going from Scotland to Curacao. So Curacao will become the smallest nation to play in the World Cup with a population of just over 150,000. Which team is the second smallest? So don't give your answers yet, boys. Have a think, and we'll be revealing the answer after this quick break.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount+.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount+.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
Welcome back to Morning Footy, 48 nations, everybody. Time to revisit our trivia. Curacao will become the smallest nation to play in the World Cup with a population of just over 150,000. Which team is now the second smallest? Boys, any guesses?
I had New Zealand. That's probably not right, but that's what I was thinking.
I was going this World Cup. I don't know. I went Cape Verde or Cabo Verde. Or
A lot of people are saying that in the chat. That is actually incorrect, though.
But I just looked their population up, and now I see they're about 530,000. So that probably.
Do I not get a guess? You're going to say Iceland before I guess Iceland?
Benny,
What's going on here?
They put up the answer before you could even guess Iceland.
You knew the answer. You said you heard it.
I mean, just because I know the answer doesn't mean I don't get to say it, right? Like,
what is the population?
I've just Googled it, 402,000.
Dang.
But in 2018, it could have been a bit less. Who knows? All right, moving on. Everybody, time for some headlines now, starting with some coaching news. Ruben Amorim is reportedly the leading candidate to take over at AC Milan. Amorim was never able to find success in his most recent job at Manchester United, reaching the Europa League final, but struggling in the Premier League. And Amorim's potential hire would mark another move in Milan's summer overhaul that saw head coach Max Allegri fired, along with several members of the executive staff, after they finish outside the top four for the second straight season.
I already feel miserable for Milan fans.
No, I want to see the little clipboard on the sideline.
Tony loves that idea. OK, over in World Cup news now. The start to England's stay in Kansas City area was disrupted when they discovered that some of the team's gear was stolen from a team van. So on Friday, 2 men were arrested and charged in Missouri for receiving stolen property. Police recovered boots, some signed jerseys and even a pair of goalkeeper gloves. And England defender Dan Burn was thankful to the police. He joked he, quote, wouldn't be able to move very much if his boots hadn't arrived.
Nice to see that Nick Garcia staying busy.
Wow.
Shout out
to one of my former teammates.
Wow. OK, then. On to some stories. One of the stories of the World Cup so far has been the implementation of new rules, but yesterday's refereeing controversy surrounded technical issues with semi-automated offside. So Switzerland was awarded a penalty against Qatar after 2 players looked to be marginally onside, but TV coverage never showed the semi-automated graphic. FIFA said after the match that a technical outage prevented the graphic from being generated and published these photos with lines drawn by VAR. Switzerland would go on to draw after a late Qatar equaliser. That's Qatar's actual first point in the World Cup history as well. In some injury news now, according to multiple reports, Argentina has been given a boost to their squad ahead of their opener against Algeria on Tuesday. Centre-back Christian Romero is reportedly back in training after playing just a handful of minutes as a sub in Argentina's pre-tournament friendlies. And in goal, Emi Martinez hasn't played since suffering an injury just before the Europa League final on May 30th, but he's reportedly ramping up his training and could be fit for Tuesday. So those are all your headlines, everybody, in the world of football. We've got much more Morning Footy on the other side. Do stay with us, everyone.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. Latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
It's hard to figure out what's the low point for U.S. soccer in the mid-1980s. It was a joke. For decades, the U.S. cannot for their lives qualify to a World Cup.
Yeah, it's true. I live in America, believe me.
The USA players were a bunch of amateurs and semi-professionals. Things really needed to change.
We want to be the first team to qualify in 40 years.
Odds were stacked against us. The whole world's like, come on, you're American. Put some shoulder pads on. Put a helmet on.
Everyone knew that Trinidad and Tobago was going to embarrass big bad United States and get to the 1990 World Cup.
We were carrying the weight of American soccer on our shoulders.
Everything was on the line on that day.
That moment alone changed the trajectory of soccer in the United States.
So, Billion Dollar Goal, a three-part docu-series focused on the biggest game-changing moment in American soccer history. It's one of several doc-series on Paramount Plus, including You Don't Know Where I'm From, Dark, The Story of Clint Dempsey and Pulisic, a 9-part docu-series available on Paramount Plus that gives you a behind-the-scenes look into the life and story of US star Christian Pulisic. So you can watch all three of those documentaries on Paramount Plus. But why don't we talk a bit more about the US men's national team, how much of an impact a deep run in this World Cup could make on the whole country, Tony?
Yeah, a deep run would be incredible, no doubt about it. And everyone has a different idea of what a deep run is with this team, right? And I've kind of always used 2002 as sort of the marker, right? Semifinal, quarterfinal or bust, right? You get to a semifinal, it's incredible. Yeah, but I think if we look at that documentary is incredible. You got to go watch it if you haven't seen it. But if you look at '94 and see what happened after '94, if we could get half of that momentum coming out of this World Cup, because we're a much bigger soccer nation than we were, obviously, in 1994. We now have a league. Players are playing all over the world. We're developing players at a completely different level. That was a springboard. If we can get half the jump after this, I think we're going in a really good direction.
Now, I remember from 2022 when we got out of our group and then we take on the Dutch. And there was from the end of the group stage to that game in the round of 16, everybody's talking about the team. Can we do it? This is the time. We're going to get back to 2002. We're going to set the benchmark. Then you lose that game and the conversation just stops. So the more that we can continue to play in this tournament and continue to build momentum, it's just going to inspire more and more kids to want to play, more and more people to want to be a part of the sport, more and more people to embrace the environment and community, from the Scottish fans to anybody that's around. Like, all of that, you can just continue to absorb it the longer the U.S. is in the tournament. So it's really, really important. And I thought last night, or a couple nights ago against Paraguay, we ticked every box. We won. We scored some great goals. We got the fans believing we can make a deep run. So the more that we can kind of continue to tap into that and keep drinking that Kool-Aid, yeah, I'm all for it. So I'm hopeful the guys can continue to push on.
I mean, Jimmy touched on it. Tony touched on it. The start was perfect. It was a perfect start to the World Cup. We got a 6-week period to not only make casual fans crazy like us, and then the non-soccer fans, casual fans, and how many more people can be interested in soccer in this country. But these guys behind us here in this wall are the guys that are going to do it out on the field, and they started doing it brilliantly. And now we have a week to talk about it before the next game, and hopefully we can continue doing that. But yeah, I think if we can get to the quarters, if we can get to the semis, man, that's going to start opening up some eyes as to, can the U.S. really start competing with the big boys? And this first game made me start believing that we're closer than I thought.
Yeah, how much of an advantage is it that the game is next Friday? They've got quite a big break in between, Tony.
Yeah, World Cups were typically 3 or 4 days rest, and then you're playing again. But because of this expanded field, they have a week. From a sort of marketing standpoint, if you will, and I hate looking at it like that, like they're going to market you-know-what out of this for a complete week, right, leading into the game, and there'll be expectations. And then they've got, I think, it's Friday, Thursday, so almost a full week going into match day 3. So they have a lot of time. From a playing standpoint, this is great, right? You get all the rest that you need. And
do you think players like that?
I think the managers like it, right?
Yeah. The players like it too.
Yeah, you got full rest. Like you just think if you have 3 days or 4 days typically rest, you're not fully recovered, right? You're never. You look at these guys on a weekly basis, and it might be one guy's fully recovered, but 2 other guys aren't on your team. Like everybody, of course, it gives Christian now a little bit more time. He's got, I think, this calf issue going on. But with 3 or 4 days rest, you never have a full team that's completely recovered. Somebody's banged up. This just gives everybody a better chance. And from a fan standpoint, it's a better chance for us just to see the best players on the field all the time.
I'd add to that where when I was at 2006, we never had a day off. That was like unheard of. And now, because of the extended time, Mauricio Pochettino's like, oh, the guy's got a day off. We're going to have a barbecue with our families the next night. I mean, it's just a different way to approach this because of the time. And yes, from a marketing standpoint, we continue to build that momentum we were talking about. But also from a team perspective, you can just make that a little bit stronger, especially after the performance we had, where just the vibes are high. Everybody's so excited to be a part of it. Even the subs that didn't even get to play are like, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, you're not mad when you're a sub when the team performs that well. So the harmony of the team must be at an all-time high. So if you can extend that, that's going to be a good thing too.
Yeah, early on, Tony, when you were talking about the documentary, we put up a picture in the wall of your mullet. Were you putting it back in, everybody? Production?
That wasn't 90 was
ponytail.
Well, what it is, ponytail.
That wasn't the mullet.
Yeah, I like the mullet better than that.
Yeah, mullet was in the documentary.
I don't mind your.
I hate the internet.
I love this jersey, by the way, though.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. The other one was my favorite. There was orange and like reddish, and yellow.
Would you never have the ponytail again?
I cut it off after the World Cup. It was so annoying. People would come and touch it in restaurants, and yeah, my wife and I would be sitting there, and I don't mean to be rude, but can I touch your hair? I'm like,
no, they didn't.
Honest to God, yeah, I cut it off and I donated it to charity. Yeah, at that time we made some money at a charity event.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when they said, "Can I touch you?" What would you say? Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yes,
like you didn't
yes.
have like, it's like, Benny, can I
guess.
touch your knee? Well, you're already touching it. What I really have to say? Yeah, it was.
How funny. All right.
My
Ponytails.
agent didn't like it. It didn't help in marketing, I can tell
I'm sure
you.
your wife hated it too.
Ponytails not coming back, everyone. Well, Group F kick off their World Cup today. We've got the Netherlands versus Japan. And after this break, we're joined by Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank to talk about that match next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
All right, we're looking at scenes of the famous Dutch fans. They're getting after it. I had some time. I spent some time actually with them in Brazil in 2014, the Orange Bus. Incredibly fun to hang out with. So if you have a chance to go hang out with the Dutch fans, they are in full effect. They get dressed up. They have great spirit and attitude, and they are ready for today's game against Japan. That's going to be a big one. Now, we're going to have Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank on the show, but before we get there, we want to talk a little bit about the Netherlands national team. And welcome back into Morning Footy. I'm Jimmy Conrad alongside Benny Feilheimer and Tony Miola. Benny, I'll come to you first. The Dutch have made a World Cup final 3 times, but have never won it. Do you feel like they're a dark horse to potentially finally win this competition?
I do. I think that they have the experience. And I only think we call them a dark horse because they're yet to win it. I think they're known to be the best country to ever not have won one, right? So they've been there on the doorstep several times recently as well, right? They finished 3rd and 4th, I think, in a few of the last editions of the World Cup. So I think they have the quality. Can they kind of get over that edge? But I see them going into a deep run. Will they win it? It always amounts to a little bit of luck, form, but they're definitely a dark horse, if not even a lighter color in that sense.
All right, so Big Tones, their manager, Ronald Koeman, was actually the captain of their 94 team the last time the tournament was hosted here in this country. Now he's the coach. What buttons do you think he needs to push to get the most out of this team?
You have to have your team clicking on all cylinders. You look at this midfield, right, and the three, Tizani Reinders, who's got he's a guy that has moments in him, right, throughout a game. You look at De Jong, right, Gravenberch. You look at the wingers. You got Daniel Malen, who made the move to Serie A and went to Roma this year, and who was a hotter number 9 in all the world football than he was, right? A little bit of a question mark I want to ask Jimmy Floyd about here in a little bit with Verbruggen, who got injured against Uzbekistan. But all in all, I mean, you got Van Dijk, who leads this back line, Van de Ven on the left-hand side, who we know's got as good a recovery speed as anyone. They always have all the talent that you need to win games. 3 finals is nothing to sneeze at. Now the next step, obviously, is to get over the line,
and let's not forget about how they went out last World Cup against Argentina, and they're down 2-0, come back 2-2, and then lose eventually in penalties. They're always right there on the doorstep. They're a good enough team to do it.
All right, so let's bring in our special guest. He scored over 200 professional goals, most notably scored a bunch for Chelsea, played in the 1998 World Cup for the Dutch. It's Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He's also the Golden Boot winner in the Premier League in the 2000-2001 season for the Blues. Jimmy, great to see you. How are you doing? And thank you for your time, of course. Let's talk about the Dutch from your perspective. How far do you think they can go?
Look, the Dutch, they are not really thinking of winning I don't think that the expectation is as much as it used to be, only because the attacking players are not what they used to be. I think it's about getting momentum, getting a little bit of luck, and then you never know. But the expectation is a little bit different as it used to be.
Hey, Jimmy, is it possible, I know we're talking about, the Netherlands as a dark horse. Is it possible that they can kind of gain traction? I know there's a few injuries right now. Can they get some good results in the group play and start making the Orange believe that they can go on a deeper run?
I think if we play the non-Dutch way, we will have a big opportunity, because defensively we have got one of the best defense, on paper, with great names like Van Dijk, Hacker. Everybody wants Hacker in the Premier League. We've got a very good left back in Van de Ven. We've obviously Timber is not there, but there's a good substitution for him. And midfield-wise, we are quite strong with Gravenberch, with De Jong, with Reinders. So we have got a good organization in that way. So if we can keep clean sheets, then we will have a really great chance of getting far in the competition.
Jimmy, explain a little bit not playing Dutch football, because when we think of Dutch football, we think of total football, right? You just mentioned this midfield.
Exactly.
You mentioned this midfield. Some of us think this could be one of the top 3 midfields in all of world football. Spain will have an argument. Argentina might have an argument. But they're up there, right? So explain what you mean getting away from total football.
Well, the thing is with total football is it's expensive. It's open. It's okay. Let's be open, but we are going to attack. And in the previous years, when we do that, we have been open to counter attacks and open to losing the ball in midfield or close to our goals and getting goals against. And our mentality has been really: you score 2, we score 3. I don't think that we have got that firepower to score 3 goals, but we have got the firepower to score 1 goal, maybe. So if you keep clean sheets and you go from a really tight organization, we will have got a chance to go really far. The Dutch people here, they won't like it, really, because they want to see good football, but it might be the best solution for us to get really far and get that momentum and get that little bit of luck.
Now, Jimmy, do you feel like the team is maybe lacking that one big superstar? Because I feel like when I think about the Dutch, I think Robin, I think Schneider, I think Bergkamp, Van Basten, Hullitz, yourself.
Kluivert.
Yeah, I mean, there's just Kluivert. There's just so many names. But in this team, I don't feel like there's that one star. Do you think Daniel Mullen can be that one, or Godi Hakpo? Do you think he's going to step up and be the guy?
It might be a blessing. It might be a blessing for us, and that means that the team is more together. That as a team you have to do it more. So it might be a blessing that we don't have one out-and-out superstar like we have previously have. So I actually quite like it, you know, that there is not a superstar, and you know, as a team you can achieve a lot more than one superstar.
Hey, Jimmy, I want to go back to what you talked about a little bit about the Dutch way and the total football and wanting to play a little bit more pragmatic, smart. And if there is a superstar, maybe it's Van Dijk in the back. And with that, can the players buy in to a little bit more of a pragmatic system, a little bit less expansive, where we detail on the defensive areas of the game and maybe try and determine the game on a counter or a set piece goal? Will the players buy into that way of playing?
I think they can, because at the moment the focus and the camaraderie is very, very good. You know, in the Dutch squad, they're getting a lot of pressure from the press at the moment here, and what they have said combined together is, guys, let's just concentrate on ourselves, and we are not listening to all the noise outside. So in that aspect, they are going in the right way. Obviously, today it's going to be a very difficult match against Japan. Japan is not easy to break down. They have to play smart against Japan, not open, because that's what Japan is going to want. But if they stay together, they would have really a really good opportunity today. But they are together. There's a totally different vibe at the moment with the Dutch national team. And, you know, look, Van Dijk is leading it, and everybody is following. So coming back to your question, yes, I do think that they can do it.
Jimmy, we know the big names in this team, right? We've been through most of them, all the way up to Daniel Mullen, who's been one of the hottest forwards in world football from January on. But is there maybe a breakout star in this Dutch side?
Look, I think if you're going to look at the names, look, that is Van Dijk. Dumfries has just signed for Real Madrid. What is a big signing? You have got De Jong, who has been playing for Barcelona for years. So those kind of guys will have to carry the team in a way. But then you need Vermaelen, you know, you need Vermaelen to get that that what he is producing for AS Roma to produce for the Dutch national team, you know, and come up with goals with Gakpo. I think the one that is going to surprise people is Summerfield, who's come late to it, and he's going to play, and nobody really knows him, but he's not scared. He's somebody that likes the 1v1. You know, so he might surprise people, you know, in the process.
Yeah, that's a great answer. He had a good season this year. All right, last question to Jimmy. We appreciate your time. You need to finish this sentence. The Netherlands will win the World Cup if
they keep clean sheets.
I love that. Nice and simple. Defense wins championships. You heard it here from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. I love it.
Thanks,
Jimmy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jimmy.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, that's it from here. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of the good stuff here on Morning Footy.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy, 48 Nations, everybody. Time to play a little game of what's more likely. Pretty simple game. Don't really know how to explain it. If you don't know it, then it's quite tough. Pretty
That's
easy.
on you.
That's on you. I give you two scenarios. You tell me what's more likely.
There we go.
Do you know how to play it, Tony?
Now we do.
Explained it well.
Sometimes it's quite hard to explain these games because they're quite simple. Anyway. Right, on to the next one. On to the first question, everyone. Balogun wins Golden Boot. What's more likely? Or the US gets bounced in the round of 32?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to stay positive. Say Balogun.
But that's not the question. The question is what's more likely?
Well, Balogun could get a brace in the next two games, and 6 could put him in the conversation.
Okay, but us losing in the round of 32 is very possible. It's not. I'm not saying I want it to happen, but it can happen. It's a knockout game. Balogun winning the Golden Ball, Golden Boot, Golden Boot, best player?
No, best
Golden Ball, Golden Boot. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it's still more unlikely. So, anyways, I'll go with the round of 32.
He said it. I'm saying Balogun.
You just want to be positive.
You think he's going to score the most goals?
I actually think it's possible.
It's possible. Again, if he gets a couple in the next couple games, then you have a run in the 32 and 16. I mean, he's shown that when he gets going and starts scoring goals, he keeps that going. He had a nice streak earlier this year where he scored, 9, 10, 11 games?
How many goals do you
8
usually
games this year instead of 7 in this World Cup, right?
So what is it normally, Tony? Do you know how many goals usually gets the Bull?
It's like 6 or 7 usually.
7 or 8.
Yeah,
I think it's probably average, right?
Yeah.
But another game this World Cup, so it might be a little bit more.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, because there's more games. Yeah. What do you think's more likely, Tony?
I mean, probably to get bounced in the 32, but
it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
guys.
no,
I'm just saying.
None of these are happening.
Oh, what's more likely to happen? Okay, should we go to our next one then? What's more likely? Mexico reaches a quarterfinal, or the US men's national team reaches a quarterfinal?
That we can be positive about. That we can be positive about.
That's easy.
Come on.
Next.
No, you have to give me reason.
Well, the first game. That's all the reason
Mexico
you need.
can't get past game 5, right? The fifth game, so that would be in this tournament. That would be the round of 16 instead of the,
Where I do think Mexico has an advantage is playing at home. I mean, they're just
But they
so
leave
good.
after the group stage. They leave.
No, I think they have one game.
They won in Guadalajara, and I think in the round of 16 is back at Azteca.
If they finish in first place in their group, I think they play 2 games, maybe knockout in Mexico.
Right.
No,
but
because
this is,
because the tournament eventually gets to us at some point. Like there's no games. Is it
quarterfinals and on.
Yeah.
So I think
this
the
is a
US
foreshadowing, though, right here, huh? Foreshadowing. I know this is happy tears, but at some point, it might turn into sad tears.
Yeah, that's an easy one, Hannah.
All right, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, on to our next one then. What's more likely, Dembele wins his second Ballon d'Or or Mbappe wins his first? That's kind of assuming that France will win this World Cup.
Oof.
If France win the World Cup, even with Mbappe's season at Real Madrid not winning any trophies, I still think Mbappe's going to win one before Dembele wins another one.
Well, so you think Mbappe will win the Ballon d'Or first before? Because if they both
Or are we
win,
talking about this year?
you think about Dembele's season with PSG.
So you're talking about this year. So ultimately,
Yeah.
France needs to win the World Cup. Then it depends on who put up the better numbers, who was more influential and impactful.
Yeah, but you would say Dembele already got a leg up for winning Champions League again.
Yeah, of course.
So I go with
Whereas-
Dembele. Unless Mbappe single-handedly brings the team with him and wins the World Cup, I don't know if he's
I think
done
world
enough.
football is waiting for Mbappe, and the presenters of this award, who are French, are waiting for Mbappe to win this Ballon d'Or before Dembele wins it again.
If Mbappe scores a bunch of goals in this tournament, he'll end up being the leading goal scorer in World Cup history. They have gotten to the 3 World Cup finals in a row. He's been pivotal in all 3. It'll be kind of an accumulation award. So, yes, if France win and win in style and he's now the leading goal scorer in history, it's going to be hard to say otherwise. So I could see Mbappe winning it before Dembele.
Even though the season with Real Madrid wasn't a success?
Well, he still put up his numbers. He just didn't make his team better. And that's the big conversation. PSG got better when he left, and Real Madrid got worse when he showed up.
Yeah.
So you tell me.
Give him the Ballon d'Or. Then.
If I give him, but yeah, if he does in the World Cup, 3 World Cup finals in a row, and he's been pivotal. Yeah, I could see an argument made for him.
Yeah, quite a lot of people in the chat are saying Mbappe.
What's up, chat? Thanks for agreeing with me.
Depends.
Appreciate that.
Mbappe may win. More likely, Mbappe first. How do we think Mbappe will work alongside Jose Mourinho next season at Real Madrid, Benny?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, there's got to be a
interesting
come to Jesus moment at some point where Mbappe sees, I'm not playing. The team looks better than I'm playing. As much
Luis
as
Enrique
I'm
tried
getting
that.
my goals, it's like
There's a
the
famous
team's
photo
not
of them
winning.
being in, or video of them being in.
but he did it in a
You got to
different
find the
way.
unselfishness a little bit, right, as a player.
Luis, he tried to get him to press Luis Enrique. Xavi Alonso tried to get him to be a pressing guy because that's what he brought from Bayer Leverkusen. That's not the way Jose Mourinho is going to play. It's going to be sit deeper and be a little bit more counterattacking team, but a little bit more organized maybe than we've seen. So what does Mbappe do best? It's probably one of his biggest qualities. I mean, you're talking about 2 guys that tried to make Mbappe be a guy that chases players around and go and pressure all over the field. You're not paying, a gazillion dollars to have, of course, he went for free there, but he's not a gazillion dollar player to have him go pressing all over the field, right? He's there to score goals and make magic, and that's what he's there for. He's elite at that.
But he did that. He did score his goals.
Right.
But they just didn't win.
Right. So get the other guys to press. Go get some other guys to run around for him.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they did with Cristiano.
Change your style. But I agree with you, Tony. I think that with Jose, it's going to be a little bit more defensive-oriented. Not completely, because it's still Real Madrid. You got some of the best players in the world. But maybe he starts at a little bit lower position on the field where there's not as much running off the ball defensively, and now they can exert themselves offensively when there is space in front of them.
Yeah, I could see him trying to get away from defending in those mid-block spaces where you want him to do all that. Mbappe, they're either going to have him drop all the way back and hit on a counter, or you're going to be that high line pressing where it's just these little 5-10 yard bursts, and then there's not really going to be an in between. But I do think that now that I think about it some more and hear you guys, that's going to be pretty smart from Mourinho. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, then everyone on to the next one. What's more likely, Neymar has a goal contribution or Brazil makes it to the quarterfinals? Bear in mind, Ancelotti did say in a press conference that Neymar will be rejoining training next week.
He hasn't played
Neymar has a
while.
goal contribution.
I could see him coming off the bench and having an assist against Scotland or Haiti.
They have to reach the quarter, so they got to win 2 knockouts. I'm going to go with that one. I think Neymar. I have no idea how much Neymar is going to play. I think Neymar is going to be used again. We talk about Gio Reyna, how he's going to get used. I think Gio Reyna. I know he came into a 3-0, 3-1 game. He's going to be mostly used, in my opinion, when you need a goal, right? Not when you need to protect a lead. And so I think Neymar is going to be similar. You're down a goal or you're tied. You need some kind of offensive output. Can you throw him in and create something when Brazil's on the attack kind of thing? So if that doesn't happen very often, I don't know how much Neymar plays, and also he's coming off of injury. As much as Brazil doesn't look like the old Brazil, they still have they're still got those yellow jerseys, and getting to the quarterfinals seems like something plausible.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Neymar gets a goal contribution even before they would get to the quarterfinals. So, yeah.
I'll use the Gio Reyna example and just say when the team's in complete control of a game, you're just going to throw Neymar on to get some minutes, and maybe he'll get a late goal like we saw from Gio as well. So, I'm going to go with the Neymar one as well.
Do you think Neymar could score a goal?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
He's still got...
He's got the sauce.
It's like the Toby Keith song, right? Not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. I think Neymar's kind of like that, where you put him in a game, he can do, and I've watched him at Santos, he can do some special things. He just doesn't do it for 89 minutes, right? And so it's that one moment that he gets, he can still do some special things.
I'm not as good as I once was.
Yeah, I got a bit
But
lost.
I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm still trying to process
Yeah, I don't
that
listen
one.
to country music.
Yeah, no, me neither.
It's a long voyage.
Should we take a look at some of the comments that everyone's been writing in on YouTube? Neymar, have a goal assist. Yeah?
Yeah, that's where I'll lean for sure.
Okay. Dembele has already won the FIFA World Cup.
That's true, he has.
He has.
Yeah.
I think someone did put...
That's fine.
Dembele's one wasn't the reason at all France won in 2018. Mbappe was the breakout.
That's right.
Yeah.
I still think it'd be an
Lots of
accumulation.
truth sayers out there.
Yeah, a lot of fact sayers. Neymar assist, yes. Oh, a lot of people saying as well, quarterfinals, yes, for Brazil. Tony, you like quarterfinals for Brazil? Do you think they'll make it that far?
I'm not quite sure. I got to look at their bracket.
Okay.
I have to see a little bit more from Brazil, and I hate saying that because I have this image of Brazil that they should always be in the quarterfinals of a World Cup.
Minimum.
But, yeah, I think world football has changed so much. Where there are Moroccos in the world that could put a wrinkle in anything.
I did actually see one comment. Let me just read it. It did make me laugh. Where is it? Something about Grella and...
Oh, boy.
I'll have to find it. Let's go to the next one.
Grella's gonna get, I already told you, Grella's getting hired by Australian national team.
Okay. What's more likely? We have a first-time winner. That was the last time that happened was in 2010. That was Spain. Or we have no European nation reaching the final. The last time that happened was 1950. It was Uruguay versus Brazil.
No European nation reaching the final? I don't see it.
Because that would knock out France. That would knock out Spain.
Germany.
Portugal. They could be a first-time winner, though.
What was the other one?
Portugal. First-time winner.
You get a first-time winner. I'll go with first-time winner. I think it's very unlikely you don't see a European team in the final. England, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would it have to be? Winner. Argentina versus Brazil? Like those would be the two favorites outside of Europe?
Argentina against Morocco, who was a semifinalist.
U.S. versus Brazil?
U.S., yeah.
U.S., Mexico?
Mexico, I mean, it would have to be...
U.S., Canada.
Surprise, Colombia, maybe?
Colombia is I like Colombia as a dark horse.
Do you think Portugal are the favourites to be the first-time nation to win it?
They're in the conversation for sure.
Time, yeah.
I think so.
Because you got Spain's won it, Germany's won it, England has won it like 300 years ago.
Controversially.
Someone's put in the comments, Ronaldo to win the World Cup or Messi, what's more likely?
Messi.
Oof, I don't know with that midfield of Portugal, man.
It's hard to win
twice in a row. Is this so hard, right?
But Portugal was my dark horse pick that I don't even know if it's a dark horse. I really like their roster. And if they use Ronaldo the right way, I think he can be influential as well. But, man, Argentina has proven it 4 years ago that they can do it. I think it helps the experience that they know how to. How does Messi fit in as an older player within the other 10 players? I think they figured all that stuff out. So, yes, it's hard to do it twice, but they've done it.
Neves.
Last back-to-back winner, 58 and 62.
Fernandez.
That was Brazil.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I just don't know. Yeah, I think that they'll be in the conversation. Well, both teams will. But, yeah, I'm curious as to how Roberto Martinez manages Cristiano Ronaldo. If they get that figured out, like Argentina did with Messi the last time around, that midfield is ridiculous for Portugal.
Is it more how Cristiano Ronaldo manages Roberto
That's
Martinez?
fair. That's probably true.
Than him
good one.
doing it to him. Well, Argentina and Portugal are still yet to kick off their World Cup campaign. We're going to be waiting for those games. We are going to be taking a quick break here on Morning Footy 48 Nations, checking in with Nico Cantor after this.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Footy, 48 nations, everybody. 4 games scheduled in the World Cup today. It's Group E and F beginning their World Cup campaigns. 4-time winners Germany are up against Curaçao, who are making their tournament debut. Then in an interesting game, Netherlands versus Japan. Also, Ivory Coast making their return to the World Cup after missing out in Russia and Qatar. They're going to be up against Ecuador. And in the later game, Sweden are back in the tournament after failing to qualify in 2022. They'll be up against Tunisia as they return for their 3rd consecutive World Cup. So a lot of fans all over the world, humans and animals, are excited for this World Cup, everybody. We got this, I think, Mexican cat jumping around watching the game. No cat people on the desk today, apparently. No one's making any comments.
So cute. I love kitties.
Is he allowed in the World Cup?
Okay, on to our next
Not allowed
one.
in the World Cup.
This was the scenes, Qatar and Switzerland fans dancing with each other after their 1-1 draw yesterday. Could have been before the game,
This
actually.
is the World Cup, man.
This is the World Cup, man.
This is the beauty of the World Cup and being a fan.
Yeah, Qatar as well, getting their first ever World Cup point.
I'm surprised the Swiss fan is happy, though.
I know, it probably would have been.
It's supposed to be pre-game.
Pre-game, huh?
His vibes are too high.
And then this is the Curaçao dancer in yet another airport with all the airport staff.
That's great.
This is awesome.
I mean, his moves are very impressive.
I walked through the airport yesterday coming back from that U.S. game. Every TV was a Switzerland game was on when we landed. Every computer that someone was sitting at a desk on their mobile phones.
It's incredible.
Everybody was
World Cup's the best.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing. Last but not least, the US men's national team reacting to the Knicks winning their first NBA championship in 53 years. Very
Yeah,
happy.
Tyler's a big Knicks fan, right?
Is everybody else a Knicks fan or just bandwagoners?
Bandwagoners, come on.
I know Tyler's always talked about the Knicks, right? Come on! Yeah.
Yeah, well, we saw the video of the last game and they all went crazy, didn't they? Not sure how many of them are Knicks fans.
Nice place to watch a game, by the way. They look like beautiful
really
sunset.
In their barbecue.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Any Knicks fans here?
I'm a Lakers guy, but shout out to the Knicks. I thought Jalen Brunson was fantastic throughout and good leader, right? I'm doing the coaching course stuff now, and you're thinking about leaders and what they do both on and off the court. I thought he was tremendous and obviously had a big performance last night.
Fun fact, the Knicks lost in the playoffs. I actually said something in the post-game interview in 1994 about the Knicks losing in the championship. So maybe there's an omen there. They win it now. You know what I'm saying, Hannah?
I love that. I love that.
The other thing I saw was in '93, the Rangers won the NHL Stanley Cup.
Messier.
After how many years? And then the World Cup's in '94, and now the Knicks just broke a 50-some-odd right before the 2026 World Cup. So the World Cup just needs to come back for the New Yorkers every single time.
Yeah. All right, then, everybody, we've got to shift. I don't know anything about basketball, so I can't really comment on that.
The Knicks won.
Yeah, the Knicks won. That's all I know.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5. Okay, everybody, shifting gears now to Nico Cantor. He has started his road trip across the United States, travelling coast to coast during this World Cup. 41 consecutive days on the road for him, going to all 11 host cities in the US, going to at least 15 matches also on a route that covers over 11,000 miles. So he started his trip in California and is now on his way to Portland. I think we're going to be taking a look at what he's been up to these last couple of days, because he started...
Yeah. Has he been driving himself, though? Because that's like the real question.
No, they have drivers.
He's got a driver.
Does he not get any part up behind the wheel?
I don't know.
So he's trying a bit
so.
of cuisine in California. Yesterday, he had garlic ice cream. I don't know how that tasted. Then he went to Levi Stadium ahead of this Qatar-Switzerland game. Got to speak to a lot of fans.
Jorge Campos lookalike there.
Yeah, with the jersey.
Yeah, that was funny.
He was a goalkeeper as well. Did you just say that, Hannah? Sorry. I was here last night, so I was part of that conversation. So, yeah, the first thing that I noticed with that jersey was, hey, it's Jorge Campos, and obviously he was a goalie as well. So
Seems like he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're all living vicariously through him, and we get to absorb all the things that he's doing. But then also he can be a spokesperson for us and what we're doing. So it's very, very cool.
There's no one in the entire Golazo family that is more suited to do this than Nico Cantor.
Yeah.
The guy's so worldly, right? I mean, he grew up obviously following his dad around the world, and this is so, down his alley,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah, I completely agree. Talking about Golazo family, we are joined now by Buckets, our CBS betting expert. Buckets, lovely to see you. You haven't got the Pochettino hairstyle like you did yesterday.
No, I'm just winging it at this point. Whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't, so be it. I come out of the shower, I slick it back, and just hope I look somewhat presentable.
Looking good, Buckets. We've got some games today in the World Cup. What bets have you got for us?
We do. I'm going to rapid fire through one bet for each game here, starting with Germany versus Curacao, which is a tough one to bet because Germany are 4.5 goal favorites now. You got to bet 4.5 on either side of the spread, and I don't want to take that line. So instead, I'm keeping it simple. Germany to score over 1.5 in the first half at -115. I'm expecting Germany to use this as a statement match and get some momentum going, get some goals for their strikers as they prep for another difficult campaign. Bet number 2, Sweden versus Tunisia. Basically, you just flip a coin. If it's head, you take Isak. If it's tails, you take Gyökeres. Because this is TV, I'm going to let you behind the scenes tell you I'm lying no matter what, and I'm taking tails. Victor Gyökeres to score or assist. It's +120. He had a bad season at Arsenal where he still had 24 goal contributions across all competitions. If Sweden are going to make a deep run, he has to be a part of it. I've got them scoring 2 today, so I think Gyökeres is going to be a part of that. Bet number 3, my favorite game of the day, Netherlands versus Japan. I have no doubt in my mind that Netherlands are going to score in this game. They have now scored in 19 of their last 20 competitive matches as a national team, but the books don't think Japan is going to score. That's where I disagree, because I'm on both teams to score at -110. Ayase Ueda is a guy you have to keep an eye out on. He won the Golden Boot in the Dutch Eredivisie with Feyenoord. He has been on fire right now, and this is such a structured, well put together team. I think Japan is going to shock a lot of people. And then finally, my spicy bet of the day, we've got Cote d'Ivoire taking on Ecuador. This is the only match in the entire group stage where the over or under for goals is set to 1.5. People are saying this is going to end 0-0, and I get that. 2 very defensive units. But I have a lot of faith in this Cote d'Ivoire team. So much faith that I'm taking them as a team over 1.5. I've got Cote d'Ivoire scoring 2 here. That is plus 310. They are a big squad with a bunch of young talent. Yan Diomande is a guy you have to keep an eye out on. And a little bonus bet, Diomande to get a single shot on target is also plus money. Love Cote d'Ivoire and what they're doing right now as a team.
Buckets, I like those bets. That last one, I'm not so sure. I mean, this Ecuador team is fantastic. Their last 19 games, they got 13 clean sheets. They are known for being very difficult. But I like your positivity overall. I like the Gyökeres bet. I like a lot. I do agree that he could get a goal contribution. If Sweden can't beat Tunisia, they most likely won't go to the knockout rounds. So they have to push and try to get a result. Very similar to Scotland versus Haiti last night. So nice job, Buckets.
Absolutely.
Lovely
Thanks,
stuff,
Jimmy.
Buckets. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
OK, then everybody, coming up next, we're going to be continuing our discussions on the games that are coming up today in the World Cup. We've got much more Morning Footy 48 Nations on the other side.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now.
Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy 48 Nations, everyone. And these are the scenes. I think this is in Houston, Germany's game ahead of Curacao today. Curaçao's first ever World Cup. These are the German fans. Look like it's rocking over there, Jimmy.
Yeah, I love the energy. The World Cup I played in 2006 was hosted by Germany, so I know this energy really well. And yeah, they're going to be fired up, and they've got an opponent that they should be able to manage, so that's obviously going to help with the vibes as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Julian Nagelsmann, the German head coach, he's the youngest head coach in this year's World Cup. He's faced some criticism lately on his roster choices from some of the big names in German football, Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Müller, and here is how he responded to those comments. So at least they can talk about everything they want to talk about. I concentrate on my team, I concentrate on my work, and we try to win the game tomorrow, and I try to win every game which we're faced with. So at least it's like that. We have to deal with some kind of stuff like that. One of the criticisms he's been facing is putting Manuel Neuer back on the roster squad because he announced retirement after the Euros in 2024. But now he's going to his 5th World Cup, Tony. Do you think that was the right decision? What do you think of that whole situation?
Yeah, I actually think it's the right decision because Baumann wasn't convincing to me against the U.S. Like his movements, looks a little bit nervous when the ball goes back to him. Neuer's never going to be in awe of any of this, right? So I'm not surprised. I think it's more of an indictment on where maybe the goalkeepers in Germany are right now than anything, right, that the manager would think about doing this. It's interesting because we're going into a World Cup. We just heard from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank talking about no expectations on Netherlands. There's not a lot of expectations on Germany. Then you start to go down the list, like Brazil, maybe they don't have the expectations that they – like who has expectations at this tournament, you know? And because you're talking about some big powerhouses. But no, I'm not surprised with the decision to bring Neuer back. And again, I think it's more a product of where they are in that position in the country.
Yeah, I'm not surprised as well that he's back in the team, and especially when you have a defense. This is where I think the vulnerabilities for Germany are, is that defense. They lost in the Euros in the quarterfinals to Spain in the 119th minute. They gave up a header, Rudiger not in a good position, and it gets right past Neuer, and they go through. I mean, they're close. Spain went on to win those Euros. So they have the talent to go do things, but I still think there's some vulnerabilities with Jonathan Tah and Nico Schlotterbeck, their center backs. Their outside backs don't really do a lot for me either. Nathaniel Brown, who I do like, is his first ever World Cup. And then you got Joshua Kimmich on the right side, who he usually plays in the middle of the field for Bayern. So that back four for me in particular is still where I think a team, Curacao is probably not going to trouble them all that much, but as they move through the tournament.
And within all that, within all that, I almost think sometimes the goalies, the decision making on who's going to be the goalie is who's the most comfortable with the 4 defenders in front of him. And maybe that's one of the positives from Neuer's standpoint, where he provides a little bit of that leadership, that communication, vocal, from back there, and that might help the other 4 be a little bit better of a unit than maybe a Baumann or anybody else.
Yeah, so not a lot of real surprise here. Jimmy mentioned Brown playing on the left. It was between him and Raum potentially. I still think this back 4 in general, not Nathaniel Brown, but just in general, are slow recovery speed. The U.S., we talked about this as a place that the U.S., we thought a couple of weeks ago, could exploit them. They did in moments, but they didn't enough. But you wonder in this competition, as long as it is, if we see that really exploited.
Yeah, you have to think as well, this German team won the World Cup in 2014, but 2018, 2022, they failed to make it out of the group. So they'll be wanting to put that better in this World Cup. Everybody, we're going to be introducing you now to an organisation in Austin that's been keeping the German spirit alive in Texas for nearly 50 years. The German Texas Heritage Society Executive Director of GTHS, Christopher Marley, is here to join us now. Christopher, looks like it's a great atmosphere over in Texas. How are you feeling ahead of this game?
Absolutely. It's fantastic. We're getting ready to go. And go Germany. Fantastic.
And Christopher, just before I introduced you there, we spoke about the success Germany have had in the World Cup. They won it in 2014. But since then, they failed to make it out of the group. From a fan's perspective, what would success look like for Germany in this World Cup this year?
I mean, obviously, bringing home the trophy would be fantastic. Getting out of the group stage would be also a great thing. And if we can make it to the quarterfinals or half final, it would be perfect for us.
All right, Christopher, nice to meet you. Jimmy Conrad here. My question is a little bit about Florian Wirtz, because he's got some James Rodriguez to him at times where he plays better for his country than he does for his club. What do you want out of him in particular? Because at times he's got to share the ball with a lot of talented players on this German team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to work as a team, right? It's not going to work individually. You've got to pass the ball. You got to take good shots. You got to play defense as best as you can. And again, it's called a German team, not a German player. So that's what we're expecting for everybody out there, is to pull together as a team and make sure they bring their victory home for us.
Christopher, we were just talking about this team. What concerns you maybe with this German side? Because everything you read, and I think it's pretty surprising, there's no real expectation on this German side, where we typically go into World Cups, not the last 2, obviously, where there's a massive expectation on German teams.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for us as the fans, we expect, perfection and 100% winning the trophy. The expectation here in Austin is they will make it and it will be fantastic. And they got to play as a team. I mean, again, this first few games we'll see what happens. I think every team so far has its pros and cons. And when you're seeing them come out, they just need to figure out who they're playing with. I mean, some teams have different strategies, so you'll see missed balls because they're not playing as cohesive, so they don't understand their rhythm at the moment. But I think as soon as the longer you get into this competition, they will definitely get their rhythm and go far, we hope.
It seems like you're expecting a lot of fans over there in Texas as well. You've all got your jerseys, you've all got your scarves on. Can you give us maybe your best chant going into this game? What do German fans like to sing when their team plays?
The German fans like to see them win and score, right?
Oh, we can't hear them because you've got the AirPods in, but I'm sure it's very loud.
Yeah, very loud. I got my AirPods in, so I can hear you.
OK then. Well, Christopher, thank you very much for joining us today. Enjoy the game. Hopefully Germany get the win. Are you confident?
Oh, absolutely.
OK.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely confident.
OK then, perfect. Thank you very much. We'll hopefully speak to you soon. Enjoy the game.
All right. Fantastic. See you.
OK then, everybody, time for a quick break here on Morning Footy. We've got much more 48 Nations coming up on the other side, previewing the rest of the matches after this.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Morning Footy, everybody. In just 5 minutes, debutantes Curacao will be taking on Germany. And here's a look at the 2026 World Cup debutantes: Cabo Verde, Curacao, Jordan and Uzbekistan. And it seems like this World Cup's very special because there's 48 teams, there's not 32 anymore. So there's going to be a lot more debutantes than usual. We've got 4 this year. And here's, take a look at the fans outside the stadium in Houston. So special for these fans. I mean, they've never been in a World Cup. For them, a nation as small as Curacao to be able to come over to the US. I know. Well, their population is what, 150,000? So, a third of their population. You're probably right. We've seen the German starting 11. So, boys, why don't we walk us through the Curacao starting 11?
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at the brothers, Bukuna and Bakuna. Juninho is the younger brother. He'll be playing out wide. Then his older brother is 34 years old. Leandro will be the captain. They've just been the heart and soul of this team for so many years. To get this opportunity, obviously, there's a bunch of players that are all going to be feeling the same way. But to be able to share this moment with your brother, I think really elevates the experience and how much it's going to mean to this family in particular.
Yeah, look at Heath Chong. We see him on a weekly basis at Sheffield United in the championship. We'll tend to drift a little bit wider. Eloy Room, of course, fans would know him here. He's been playing in the States for quite some time in goal. He and Locadia up top, both play in one of the lower divisions here in the USL at Miami. So they've got some guys with experience. I think they'll be doing a lot of defending today against this really talented Netherlands side.
German side.
I'm sorry, German side.
First World Cup for all of these Curacao players, so I'm sure they're feeling very motivated. But if they need that last little bit of inspiration, let's send it over to Benny for his team talk. Take it away, Benny.
I'm going to try my best here, boys, but bring it in real close. We want to make sure that we are prepared for this game, and it's all about belief and togetherness. And in a country of 150,000, you guys are already heroes. So let's go out there. Let's become legends. We've seen teams like Qatar get a point. We've seen teams like Australia get 3. Stay together, work together, fight till the end, stay organized, and you guys will make your family and friends back home proud.
Let's go! Let's go!
Go up.
Oh my gosh, his mic is flying. Good stuff, Benny.
I didn't expect that one.
Love it.
I love it.
Very good. All right then, everyone. 4 days down, the World Cup is in full swing. We're just getting started for the day, everyone. We got much more.
It's not doom and gloom.
I can't even end it. We'll see you after this break, everyone.
What a voyage.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days.